Hello and welcome to our new parent orientation. Usually this is done very differently, but we're in a different situation in our world as of now. So I appreciate you taking time to listen to this brief orientation and welcome you to our program. I'm Heather Soria, I'm the program director here at Kids Are Special People. And on behalf of the staff and I, we'd like to welcome you. We know you have many choices when it comes to choosing a childcare, early childhood program for your children, and we value that you've chosen our program. So we will do our very best to help orientate you to our program. First of all, I would like to welcome you. We have 4 new Tiny Tot families. The Tiny Tot teachers are Miss Casey and Miss Maddie. Miss Judy will also be helping this group. And then we have 3 new We Angel families starting this year. The We Angel teachers are Miss Kelsey and Miss Kendra, and again, Miss Judy will also be helping that group. Please review all of the materials that we've sent you. Your to-do list as of now is to finish enrollment paperwork and send in your child's most current immunization. I would like to highlight a few things from our updated handbook. Kids Are Special People is split up into 3 different programs. Our infant and toddler, known as our looping program, and that's where your children are joining us as of now. And then we have a full day preschool as well as a school age program. So we really do like for families to think about us very long term. It's not just a year here or 2 years here, but really a home away from home. We find that that provides the best upbringing for our young children. During this time, communication is just key. Again, usually having parents here to be a part of the program, getting to know one another, we're not able to do that based on the latest recommendations. Speaking of our recommendations, we're following the CDC, which gives us the most updated information on how we can improve our program. And again, for you being new to KASP, you won't know any differently. But for our families that have been here, things look quite a bit different. We still will provide the highest quality of care we can, but we've added quite a few new sanitation practices, health practices, and just a way to make sure that we're following all of those guidelines. We will have to do our best to communicate with each other. The first way of doing that is to contact your lead teacher. Each classroom will have an email as well as a texting app that will go directly to their iPad, and you can always call the main KASP line. Each classroom will also be equipped with walkie-talkies. This will be an option for us to be able to get a hold of them at any time. A lot of our older classrooms will be spending the majority of their day outside, not so much the Tiny Tots and the We Angels. They will be outside several times a day as well. If you need to pick up your child early, you will communicate either directly with your lead teacher or straight to the office, and we'll make sure that we bring your child out to you. Again, communication is key, and we know children and families have had such a challenging time over the last few months. Please talk to your teacher. Let them know how your child's doing. Children experience things in different ways, and it's important that the new caregivers can get to know your child with the most information as possible. So don't ever hesitate to ask those questions and seek additional information. If you feel as if your questions aren't being answered, then you're going to get a hold of me, and we'll figure out a way to talk, whether it's on the phone or via email. But I just encourage you to address any of those questions you may have right away so we can get to the bottom of it. Another essential part of our program is our KASP app. And I've talked with several of you about this when you came in to tour the program months ago. But KASP is an app that helps us align our curriculum based on developmentally appropriate practices. This will be a great tool for you to feel connected to the program and see highlights of your child's day and hear about what they're learning, which friends they're playing with. I just encourage you to read those KASP. There's daily notes that go home, and then what we call a weekly storyboard, similar to a newsletter. Put your child on your lap and review the KASP app with them, having them point out their friends, pointing out what they've done for the day, pointing out their teachers. This will help you feel connected to the everyday classroom activities. We also use the assessment program with the KASP app. This just allows us to make sure that your child is developing in an appropriate way, and if we need to address anything, we'll do so if there's any red flags. We are also NAEYC accredited. NAEYC stands for the National Association for the Education of Young Children. This is our guiding program that helps us follow best practices. So you'll be hearing more about NAEYC, but right now NAEYC and CDC are how we're going about business. So we've talked a little bit about the program, and again, you'll hear more from the teachers in additional YouTubes that we have that we're developing. But I wanted to also reach out to you and answer just a couple different questions about tuition. So we have a wonderful program, wonderful staff. You're required to pay tuition. So tuition is due by the 15th of every month, and you have several options of how to pay that. We're lucky enough that we have a bookkeeper with the church. Her name is Luciana. We will be giving you her contact information. You can contact her directly. You'll be invoiced monthly. You can pay by check, which those will have to be mailed in for the time being. You can set up auto withdrawal, or you can set up a plan with her on how to pay your bill. Sometimes families will make 2 payments for the month. That's certainly fine. At the end of the year, in January, you'll be given a year-end invoice to use for tax purposes. Oftentimes families have what's called flex spending plans. We're certainly willing to work with those. We may need to sign off on them. Again, Luciana is the one that you'll go to for that information. Morning drop-off will be our next thing that we need to talk about. Generally, families would come into the building and get their child situated into their classroom. But now we're being required to pick up children right outside. We'll be doing a health screening where the teacher will be doing a temperature check, as well as asking you some questions about the health and well-being of your child and your family. Again, our goal is to keep everyone safe as possible, and we need your help during this difficult time. We understand that passing your child off to new teachers, new people could be challenging, so we will certainly work with you the best way we can. There's not a magical way to transition your child into a new program, and given the current situation, I think it's added a bit more difficulty. We will talk with your child, we will encourage them to be here and be with us. We will also contact you if we need to, if your child is having a rough transition. One good piece of advice, make their day a half day. Maybe come in at 11 o'clock and pick up. The next day, extend their day till after nap. Each child is different, each situation is unique, and I will rely on the teachers and you to make that best transition for the child as easily and as smooth as possible. Children are resilient, and we feel that they will get adapted to our environment easily and quickly. We will be wearing masks. All staff will be wearing masks, and I do ask the parents if it's possible for you to wear masks as well when you're interacting with the teachers outside. We know this is great advice from the CDC, so for now, all staff will be wearing masks. Our older children will have the option to do so, and by older children, I mean 2 and up. We are a nut-free program, so please do not pack any nut products in your child's lunch. Immunizations. We're a program that requires full immunizations. Some of you have sent those in to us. Thank you. Some of your children have also received immunizations in the last couple weeks. Please send us a copy, fax it in, or simply scan it and email it to Patty. Patty is Kids Are Special People's Assistant Director. You'll be hearing more from her later on the drop-off and pickup time. In addition to immunizations, we ask that you try to make appointments for your children on a Thursday or a Friday when they can be home with you. That's very important that they have that extra time if they spike a fever, and we just ask that you try to make arrangements to do that off time away from school. For the month of June, we are closed on Fridays. Come July and August, we'll resume Monday through Friday. We're hoping that this will help us transition not only the children, but the staff back into a really solid routine of cleaning. So Friday mornings will also be a cleaning day, as well as planning and reflecting on the week that we've had. Parent involvement. Now this is tricky given our current situation. Parents are valuable. We want to be a partner with you in raising your child here at KASP and in your home. So please, again, communicate with the teacher, communicate with myself, and let's do the best we can to help your child adjust to coming to KASP and really getting the most out of the program here. Dates to remember. June 1st is right around the corner. So that is your child's first day, unless you have talked with me or Patty directly and requested a different start date, but we're certainly planning on having you here June 1st, and we look forward to getting to know your family and getting to know you better. If you have any questions that I haven't answered on the new parent orientation aspect, certainly give me a call. You will also have some additional information coming up on a few other YouTubes. The classroom teachers, Callie and Kelsey, will be getting you some more information about what you need to bring daily to KASP, but I would like to give you a heads up regarding our resting mats. These can be found online at Amazon, or you could also call Lakeshore. If you can't get one before June 1st, that's certainly fine. We have some extra. The one requirement is that they're vinyl and that they can fold up. These will be disinfected daily, and your child will have the same resting mat to sleep on. A crib sheet will fit nicely on this mat. We will send those home definitely weekly. Sometimes they might go home a little more often, but your crib sheet will be washed, and you want to bring a blanket for your child to rest with too. Part of our new protocol will be making sure that we spread children out for resting time, head to toe policy, where children will rub backs and children will have a nice rest time. We know that's very important for the health and safety of our children to get a good rest. Tiny tots are still generally having 2 naps. You're going to communicate with Casey on what that looks like. Sometimes children are starting to transition out of the 2 naps, so we'll certainly work with you and your child, and we'll take their cues of how to help them just adjust to the one nap. But we do know how valuable rest time is. If you have any questions concerning the resting mats, certainly let us know. And again, we look forward to having you here.